Hello! We're back in my vehicle. I ordered this coffee and I'm so excited. It's like a rose honey situation. Did not realize until I left that I would need a stir stick, so we're gonna have to... And that's how I got pregnant. Hi. Sunday was Mother's Day. I had a beautiful little brunch. I ordered a whole breakfast burrito, a side of macaroni, and a singular slice of French toast, which I did share. Excuse me. And it was great. I was gonna have a massage in the afternoon, but my masseuse was ill. So it didn't actually end up happening, but my plan was I was gonna do a little chit chat on the way to my massage, catch you up on my life. I was like, it's Mother's Day. I'm allowed to talk about being a mom to this ungrateful little rat. Honestly, I need that. It's fully decaf, but I can't tell if it's just placebo or the like 0.8% of caffeine that decaf holds. Like, is that just enough? I didn't sleep great the last 2 nights. I can't tell if I'm dying or just like pregnant, because the last 2 nights trying to sleep, just out of nowhere, I feel like once I lay down, my upper back, like behind, like almost around my spine, if you will, and especially last night, like behind my right tit, just hurt so annoyingly much. I'm gonna go with it's just muscle strain because of the fact that my entire organs and bones and body have to shift to make room for this child. You're welcome. But when it's 1 a.m., I'm a different person. Nighttime Lauren is just a different human. The moon comes out and so do emotions that I've locked away and shoved into a closet for the last 30 years. Like, all rationale is out the window past midnight. So it's just 1 a.m. and I've awoken because all this pain is happening, and then I'm just Googling why this pain is happening. And by Google I do mean ChatGPT. And Mr. Chat is over here telling me probably it's just muscle strain, but also you should probably tell your midwife because it could be preeclampsia or your gallbladder is gonna fall out or something. And I was like, sweet. I can't remember if it was the night before or 2 nights before. I was just so hormonal, and I literally woke up, it's like 2 a.m. and I'm just laying on the floor petting Thor, just looking into his eyes, just crying because I'm just literally going through Thor and I's entire life together, where I'm like, I picked you up from Kentucky, I had to drive down there, remember when we used to walk on the beach and then we went over here and I flew you, like, why? And I know why. At the beginning of the year, he needed dental work. So unfortunately, we figured it out. We got the dental work done. It didn't go 100% smoothly. Fortunately, everything was fine, but I think it was a very stressful situation on him. But in February, because of all of his dental work, I got his blood work done. Mid-March, this dog just started just like leaking a little pee is the professional diagnosis. Maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks. Not even that. I don't remember the last time it's happened now. He just wakes up from sleeping and there's just like the tiniest little puddle. So I take him to the vet. They do another round of blood work. Everything comes back good. They culture his urine. Everything is good. And basically it's chalked up to like, hopefully he's just doing that. Do you want to put him in diapers? And I was like, no, I'll just clean it up when it happens, which is not often. Ooh, we got a walking party. And I was like, not a big deal. Honestly, this is the best case scenario. I would rather him be perfectly healthy and just have to clean up a little bit of pee sometimes. That's fine. That's just a very Thor thing to do. He leaks a little. That's okay. We're all gonna do that as we age. There's no shame in this game. Except that then, the second that I'm like, my heart is settled again, the last week, this dog just stopped eating. And I'm stressed out a little bit over it because I love him. But at night, it's just too much. And I'm just like, he's gonna die. There's all this stuff happening. So I'm just going through our entire lives together. You know what I did? I woke up the next morning and I Googled it and I added Reddit to the end. And Reddit said Pomeranians are notorious for just holding out on eating if they think that they're gonna get better food. And I was thinking, you know, we did go out to eat and I brought him with us and he's been getting, I think, a little more human food lately. And I think he's just being a little shit. So other than his dog food being out, he's not had nothing. You know what he did last night? ate. He ate. He's fine. So I'm really glad for that. We're all so happy, Thor. Yes, we're glad you're just a drama queen. Yay! But the point of this long rambly story is, yeah, I'm just crying all the time. I'm just I'm 2 seconds away from crying at any point. I could cry right now. I don't even need a reason. I'm just there and I'm ready. And I told my friend that. And he was like, I think it's normal. And I was like, yeah, you're a Cancer. Of course you think that's normal. You know what's funny about that though? Okay, I mean this with absolutely no offense to any of my water signs. Okay, love y'all. Whenever my partner and I would talk about getting pregnant, I would be like, hey, if you're gonna knock me up, like, let's not do that right now. We don't have the funds. We don't live in really the country that I want to do this in. Let's not do it right now. But if you're going to, I would really like to aim it between these months because I get along really well with Leos, Virgos, and Libras. So if you aim for Virgo season, whether it's a little early or a little late, it'll be great. And I was like, but there's no way I'm raising a water sign. There's no way. He had the money. It was not intentional. At least I don't think so. Dun dun dun. Man, everybody's trying to lock me down. But September 1st is the due date, so far we're on track. Again, love y'all if you're a water sign. If you're a little Cancer baby, if you're a little Scorpio, I feel you. We can be friends. I'm friends with many water signs. We get along. We understand. I appreciate your creativity. I like knowing about your brain, but raising you? Absolutely not. There's a difference between us being fully formed human beings and having a relationship and me being your mother. They're a Virgo. I can communicate with you. They're a Leo, we're just gonna be best buds, you know? I already know that I'm having a very opinionated child. Do you know how I know this? Because he hits me so often! Okay, it's good. You're healthy, you're alive. Great. I saw on the internet that there's this exercise. I kind of got the vibe was just a vacuum, if you're familiar with those, but it's called Hug the Baby. So I stand up and I do that just to see. Immediately, this kid is punching my stomach. He did not like that. And then it made me laugh. Ah, coincidence. And I showed it to my partner. Immediately he did it again. Like every I was like, okay, I see you don't like this move, fair enough. And this morning, I'm trying to put this bandeau top on, and sometimes it's just easier to pull things up from the bottom, but I had to pull it over my stomach, and it was just on my stomach for literally 0.2 seconds. And he very opinionated. He's making himself heard. And I'm not even mad about that. I'm like, okay. It's just my body. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Cool. But anyways, we're doing good overall. I feel like after the 15-week mark, my body finally just settled down. And it isn't until recently that I've started feeling massive, and that's okay. Whatever. I just don't even care. I mean, other than the fact that it is literally affecting my sleep and my ability to put pants on and get up and down from the bath and all of that, I don't care. I mean, I say that because it's daytime and I'm talking to a public audience, and so I am filled with a fake confidence that shatters the second that I'm alone and it's past midnight. But what I believe in my heart, and I know is true, my body is doing what it needs to do. If you're hungry, eat, okay? I am an active human being. I try to go on a walk most days. I do yoga 3 to 4 times a week. Like, I'm moving. I'm also consuming everything all the time. I don't know. I just feel like it's the time, like it's just a transitional stage where I cannot compare this current point that I'm at to my normal reality or anybody else's. And it is jarring, I will say, especially because I have to film myself. Not have to, but because I'm filming myself, I'm like, oh, this is what we look like. Or even just looking in the mirror, I'm like, I don't know who the fuck that is. I think it's me, but it's so weird. It's just life though. And I'm like, look, I'd rather just not care, I think is how I feel. Because yeah, it's so easy for me too. I think it's easy for anybody, especially just like the world that we live in makes it very difficult to exist just in general as a lady in society. But I feel like especially just because of the hormones, because of internet, like all this stuff and just so much comparison and stuff, I'm like, it's just not worth it. I don't care. I refuse to, because this is my experience and I'm just trying to enjoy it and just appreciate the weirdness that comes with it and not worry about these absolutely useless things. Like, as long as I'm healthy, as long as my blood pressure is coming back good and everything, I don't care. Like, I was talking to my mom and she was like, I think you're only supposed to gain 25 to 35 pounds during your pregnancy. And I was like, woman, we passed that halfway into this game. We already did that. What are you talking about with these 1950s numbers? Get out of here. I'm like, it's just a different point. And I think worrying about this is just an absolute waste of time. So I'm saying it to you if you care, but I'm also saying it to me. But yeah, oh, I got to the honey part of this. That's delicious. I have my gestational diabetes test today, so looking forward to that. I'm pretty sure in America and in Canada right now, they just make everybody do a gestational diabetes test. So to my understanding, this afternoon I will be drinking a giant sugary beverage, and after an hour they just test all your blood sugar levels and make sure that your organs can balance everything out, because apparently this is not something that, to my understanding, again, I'm not a doctor though, so your placenta basically is just either a little bitch or it isn't. So you just either get diabetes or you don't. That's crazy. Oh, there's so many things that's crazy. When I was looking up all the preeclampsia stuff at 2 a.m. last night, because if you don't know what it is, it's basically, for some people, just the pregnancy causes their blood sugar or blood pressure, excuse me. Your blood pressure can get too high. Your organs literally just start like shutting down. That was what ChatGPT was saying about my gallbladder, was like, oh, because there's pain behind your chest, it might say something about your gallbladder. And I'm just like, cool. Because the only solution and the only way to solve that is you just have to give birth. What? I have a poison inside of me is what you're saying? Cool. Crazy. Anyways, that's what you get for having sons, I swear to God. Initially, when I found out that I was having a boy, if you watch my gender reveal, I was like, yay. And I was like, I didn't really care either way. Like, I just always imagined having a girl first, and when I wasn't, I was like, what? You want me to live with a man? The hell? One of my friends, she said to me, she's like, Lauren, honestly, there's enough cool women in the world. Like, it's about time you raise some cool men. And I was like, you know, that's a good way of phrasing this. Thor, do you want to go live over here for a minute? Wow. Anyways, we're doing good. I found yoga really helps a lot, and I've been doing these VHS tapes from the 80s. Kundalini yoga. I love them. They are definitely an experience that I wouldn't say is maybe everybody's cup of tea, but it's so fun to me. But as I'm sure you've put together by now, I take yoga classes, and they had a special class where this woman, who is a very big deal in the Kundalini yoga space, her name is Gurmukh, if you're familiar. So she's coming to Portland to teach a couple classes, to my understanding, and one of them was offered at my yoga studio, and they're talking about it just like in the announcements at the beginning of class, and there was something in me that was like, oh, I've never done, like, I don't know anything about Kundalini yoga at all. I've never really even heard of it. And I was like, yeah, okay, like, I don't know, maybe I'll sign up for that. Like, it's on a Friday night and I don't really have anything else to do. And usually my partner works Friday night, so I was like, that could be kind of fun. And I find the yoga studio really supportive. The teachers, every single one of them has been like so kind about telling me, like, Lauren, just so you know, we're gonna do some twisting in class today, so you might want to skip that and do, you know, but I can help you, like, give you other suggestions. Like, they're all just so, like, every time I come in, they're like, how are you? Like, I don't know, it just feels really nice, I think, to have that kind of energy, especially just like during my pregnancy. So 3 to 4 times a week, I'm in there, partially to stretch my body, partially because I'm like, hi! I'm in this yoga class hearing about the announcements, and I was like, I think I'm gonna do that class. Like, it sounds interesting. I'll look the woman up. And then after the class, another woman came up to me and she was like, I don't know if this is too forward, I apologize, but I just wanted to let you know the woman that's coming, she's actually a really big deal in like the prenatal space, and she had, like, I used to do all of her videos from like the 80s when I was pregnant, and was telling me about about it and stuff. And she was like, I don't know if you're interested in them, but it's just, I remember when I was pregnant, it just felt so good because there's a lot of like hip movements and a lot of like dancing. And she was like, the VHS tapes are just so nice because you're just in your house, and I'm sure they're on YouTube, and you can just get weird and be by yourself versus in a public space and stuff. And I was like, no, cool, I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look into that. So the next day I did them, and I really liked the videos because it literally is like just a lot of rocking. There's a point where for a solid 5 minutes, this is what you're doing, and she's like, your partner in this dance is your baby, and I love that shit. Literally, like last night, I just do it because it does feel nice in your hips. And last night I was just sitting there like gyrating basically and hip thrusting, and Andres was like, you better watch out, saying that's the only way you're gonna be able to put him to sleep, and we're gonna be in restaurants having to do this. But I was like, okay, cool, like I like these videos, I like this lady, I'm gonna sign up, like this will be cool to do, especially while I'm pregnant, yada yada yada, she's a big deal in the prenatal space. So I sign up for it, and then literally that night I'm talking to my friend, and I told him that I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this Kundalini class, I've never done one, on Friday, and he was like, isn't that the cult? And I was like, no, my yoga studio would never. And he was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure Kundalini Yoga, I just watched an entire documentary series on HBO about Kundalini Yoga and how, like, it was this big cult and blah, blah, blah. He was like, I'm sure yours isn't though, it's totally, like, you know, he's trying to be polite. And I was like, so I watched 2 episodes of the HBO show, and yeah, you know, there's always gonna be people that take good things and make them bad, you know? But I figured, look, this is my first round with a cult, you know? I'm pretty good at them. I'm just going to a yoga class. It's a 2-hour thing at my yoga studio. As long as I don't take my clothes off and come straight home, I think I'm gonna be fine. And then I did, and it was fine. It was actually a really cool experience. There's a little motivational speaking, some gongs. So she's sitting there, she puts music on, and it's literally, you get up, everybody moves their mats out of the way, and then everybody in this room, there's like, I don't know, 40 people. I have no idea how many people there are in this room, but it's just a room full of people, mostly women, and she's like, okay, you're a flower, you're a Portland flower waving in the wind, and it's literally, you're just walking through this room, like, like that is a perfect description of what happened. And I kind of live for things like this because I will admit, initially there is a part of me that's like, you know, I think it's pretty normal to be like, I'm gonna look stupid, this is gonna feel weird, this is uncertain, this is unknown. That makes sense, I think, for people to feel. And I really like doing those things anyways that actively might make you feel a little uncertain or stupid about, because I think that it's really good for you to just do it and overcome that feeling. And also, to be honest, this isn't my first rodeo, because when I've done theater before and play, like I had this play one time which we did in a public park, and we did all of our practice in a public park. Like there was a theater, but it was outdoors in a public park next to it. And this was a very old school kind of theater teacher or director, and she would literally just be like, okay, you're all a lion, and now you're a lion who's gonna give a speech, and now you're a lion that's gonna give a sexy and everybody's just like you're all just these freaks in a public setting acting like a lion, going around in a circle. If you've seen Barry, the theater work that they've done there, like the warm-ups, that's real. I've been that person, and it's so funny to me because, again, there's just like something freeing about it. I'm not saying that I love it. I'm not saying that I'm like, oh, 100%, but I'm like, yeah, I'm saying that I'm actively not, and I think overcoming that is good. Improv also helps. You do all kinds of weird shit in that. But anyways, what did we start talking about this? Oh yeah, so I took the class, and it was just a fun experience. I don't think it's something that I'm gonna do all the time. I think I like to just stick to what I'm doing right now, but it was definitely an experience that was a fun new thing that I did. So yeah. Satnam, I'm in a cult now. Honestly, ooh, That last bite, delicious. Ooh, you got all the honey, all the rose. I'm glad I didn't even get to stir it. That was lovely. So I might take that as a sign to end this video. I don't really know what I said. I don't know who I am, but I hope that you enjoyed. I just like listening to people talk. If you like these kind of videos, please let me know, because they're very easy for me to do, especially at this time thing. We're gonna hang up here. My camera's getting hot anyways, but thank you for listening, especially if you made it to the end. This has been some rambly nonsense, but I hope you're all doing really well. I hope you have a wonderful day.